Wait, it's not. Okay, what? It wasn't recording. Just the audio part.
And
you're not even on your mic.
This is in the house. I sound like Northwest. This is in the house.
No one's coming for Northwest. Oh my gosh.
I don't care that she's 10. She's talented another way. Singing is not one.
Mama sound like, don't.
Don't come for that little girl. But she sucks, Mom.
Oh my gosh.
She's a phenomenal painter. The makeup that kid can do, like the prosthetics and stuff, is insane. Singing.
Let's hurry up and cut to the... Oh my goodness.
Welcome to Deucez.
What's up? I'm Z.
Actually, I'm Z.
I was Z first.
It doesn't matter because he can never remember his line. And if you don't want to hear our T, then Deucez.
I don't know if we're going to have that in there. Deucez is the name of the show. Let's get into the tea.
I've got some topics for you this week. We're going to start with Northwest playing Simba in The Lion King, the 30th anniversary at the Hollywood Bowl. Jennifer Hudson was there. Jason Weaver, the original Simba, young Michael Jackson was there. And should have sang it. Oh, sorry. That's TikTok. I'm looking up the video to show you.
He was the original Simba. He was the original Simba singer.
For sure. That's what I mean.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas was Simba.
Yeah, I know.
He sang the songs.
I know.
All right.
I used to be obsessed with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Fun fact, one of my residents who I used to care for years ago was actually his English teacher. Rest in peace to her. Okay. So, Northwest played Simba and the Lion King, and it was not great.
Well, they were scared of that roar. The extras.
Let's get to the...
Yeah, so Northwest phenomenal 10-year-old being able to get in front of a crowd and all that's commendable.
For sure. I'll give her that.
I do feel like there could have been some better rehearsals, maybe, possibly. Being a stage performer myself, you block things, and I think probably when you're raised in the performance, like the stage performance, which is different than being like on camera or like a movie set.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that you probably learn. I heard that her outfit was like not what it would be.
Correct. If any other child was playing Simba,
presumably,
they would wear a different costume that actually matches the cast. It's actually really cute. But apparently there's a company called Earl that designed her costume for her to be, for her to wear, which someone who performed in theater, it didn't really look safe to me. That's not just me being a hater, but it was really baggy, and the feet things were like weird. I was
like they would get caught.
I feel like she could trip or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, but she wasn't really dancing that much. So, I mean, it's from the clip I saw.
Which is the other thing.
From the one clip that I saw.
Which is the other thing, because I compared.
It wasn't much dancing.
I compared to the young man who plays Simba on Broadway, who's phenomenal and probably trained for it, and his parents probably take it seriously.
It's Broadway, so.
This is Hollywood Bowl.
Was this BET?
Hollywood Bowl.
Okay. Yeah.
It might as well have been BET. Okay. Tyler Perry movie.
BET is phenomenal. BET is phenomenal.
But
sponsor us.
It was like actual choreo that the other kid was doing. And she was kind of just like.
Yeah, she didn't seem.
Walking back and forth on the stage.
To be doing what anybody else was doing.
Correct. So I really want to know the backstory. I've been having a hard time finding it. I want to know how she got chosen for that. I want to know if it was just because who her parents are. You know, I watch the Kardashians here and there. I'm going to be honest, and
I've never
actually
watched that show.
recently, they've been showing behind the scenes of when Kim landed the role on American Horror Story, and she took it crazy seriously because she didn't want to look like a fool being on this show. And I'm not saying that her daughter looks like a fool. She's 10, whatever. But there's a lot of talented little kids out there, and I feel like her parents could have done way more to prepare her for a performance of that caliber. Now, if this was like a school play or with something a little smaller for her to start with. Cool.
I feel like a school play, that would have been knocking it out the park.
Now
that you say that.
But this is the Hollywood Bowl 30-year anniversary of The Lion King. And I'm just like, why? Nepotism? Nepo baby? Has to be.
People say that.
Why else? Why
People
else?
say that. And I can't imagine watching it. It's like, I do feel like, is this the best that she could have done? Like, if I was the director, because, our little cousin at 5 years old was like, I want to rap because, we rapped. And people would be like, oh, you got to be easy on him. I'm like, for what?
Right.
He said he wanted to rap. Now we're going to rap. And you know what happened? It was times where I was like, nah, it's cool. And he was like, nah, because I didn't do it right and I can do it better. Yeah. See, that was him. This was at 6 after 5. This was at 6. He got mature.
5. 6
he matured
is after
up.
5.
You know what I'm talking about? So I feel like it's, America likes to handicap people. You know what I'm talking about? Like, even like with my son, autistic. And it's all like, oh, well, you can't do, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
My son is my son. My son is not his condition or whatever it is you want to look at him. Like, that's who he is. And it should be taken into consideration, but it's not like, well, now there's things you can't do. That's called marginalization. And I got to make sure that I don't do that because I want him to be able to function like anybody else. He just learns differently, which every kid learns differently. Right. So I feel like in this case, I don't know if I'll say who it falls on. I mean, I've heard people talking about, oh, Kim K paid people to have, and it does definitely seem like something happened because of the wardrobe. Like, why? You know what I'm talking about? Whoever's vision this was to have it on this stage had a vision. And it's like, you're disrespecting the vision. Unless they were like, oh, that's way better than, and I don't think they were like that. No. Unless like, oh, that's why I should have thought about having the blanket with the with the little fur streamers on there. That's hot. Nah, I don't think they like that. But I feel like let's respect the craft and let's respect the art, not against an adolescent who probably doesn't know any better, but for those involved who are in those positions, which is like why you're in those positions. This is why you have auditions. 100%. You want to see it come to life properly. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like I haven't been able to find it, and I have been looking. But I feel like something did happen because it's not like it was advertised. Coming up, Northwest playing Simba and you know what I mean? It kind of just like happened.
So that sounds strange. That sounds like, so what? Yeah, I need more research because when you say that, it sounds like someone was slated to do it, and then all of a sudden Northwest came to do it, and it was all like, oh, we're gonna have Northwest do it. And it's like, if that was the case, are we bumping people who may have been more deserving for somebody has a bigger name to it? Again, I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case, but that's what it sounds like.
I feel like this man always doing yard work when we out here recording.
Hey, it's 8 o'clock. But it's also cooler. This is why we came out here later. So maybe it's the same thing for him.
I also was reading up and didn't put 2 and 2 together, but I wonder, because it was announced last month that Blue Ivy will be starring in the Lion King 2 with her mom, Beyonce, which, full disclaimer, I can't stand that Beyonce plays Nala in the live action Lion King. Baby, I watched it. I was highly irritated. I do not think that was a smart move for Disney to do. However, that was announced last month that Blue Ivy is going to be playing Simba and Nala's son. And then all of a sudden, so I don't know, is there a little nepo competition?
Blue Ivy's playing the boy?
No, she's playing Simba and Nala's daughter. Did I say son?
You said son.
That's Tad. Daughter.
So I had a problem with everyone's performance in that movie except for Zazu. The live action, other than Zazu, everybody was just like bland. I'm like, what? And these are actors that act. Like, what in the world? Even Donald Glover. I was like, what? How? What?
Yeah.
Did they tell y'all to play it down or something? I don't even see how there's going to be a 2. Also,
yeah,
it's going to be a Mufasa
she's not in any
movie.
other promo pictures.
So,
and her name is listed all the way at the bottom.
That definitely sounds like she was wedged in there.
So
I don't know, but that sounds like she was wedged in there. That's what it sounds like to me.
I just feel like it wasn't a good move on the parents' part for multiple reasons. I don't think they prepared her. I don't think, as hard as Kim works for her own stuff, I don't think she put that into her daughter for it. Unless they found out the day before, which if they found out the day before and then North did that, kudos. The other reason I feel like her parents didn't really think is because they're in the spotlight. Like, she's gonna get criticized. And that's what's been happening. Like, that's why they have their little TikTok account and Kim has the comments turned off or whatever. But like, the internet's been going in on North.
Internet is undefeated.
And I mean, and she can't sing. So I get how it could be
I
infuriating.
don't want to say she can't sing. She didn't sound bad.
She can't sing good enough for what she was doing. And I could see how the internet, someone being a theater kid, and I could see how they'd be like, what the heck? There's so many other kids. Like, why? Why did they do this for this occasion, for this event?
I understand the why, especially the whole theater and also gospel plays. Got a lot under my belt. But I don't know if I'll just flat out say she can't sing. I feel like she was like on key. So that means that she can sing. She can carry a note. That's what it's called. She can carry a note.
She can carry a
She
note.
can carry a note. It's just about these talents and skills being flushed out.
Yes.
And that's all a part of growth. Even if she wasn't 10, that would be like the same thing. You have professionals that are the same way. Rihanna Ponda Replay and Diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
Two different ranges and stuff like that. So you can see when somebody puts work in. The Rock Johnson, Be Cool, and San Andreas, right?
Yeah.
Not the best movie, but I'm all like, when I saw San Andreas, I was all like, The Rock is obviously
Baby, I love
putting in some work into, you can see him, he's putting work into his craft. So that's what goes on with it. And we were talking about Blue Ivy, who you brought up.
Yes.
How I feel like in the case, if I don't know if it's Nepo, whatever, but Beyonce put her daughter in her own show.
Yes.
And it's like, and then employed her. And I'm like, that's yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And then Blue Ivy was like, I need to get better. Because she didn't want to get caught in no elevator. So she's like, let me get better. It's like, that was a joke. But let me get better. So for whatever reason. But like, to what I just said.
Yeah.
Blue Ivy's first dance, whatever.
Compared to her
how
last.
she's doing like now or whatever. I'm like, dude, I just saw clips and I was all like, oh shoot. That's different. Like you can see she cares about something.
And people were trying to compare that too. And I'm like you said, like Blue Ivy was in her mom's show. She was employed. And baby girl was like working. Okay. That was a whole tour that she was working on. And putting in the work, and you can tell and you can see. And so I just feel like North has some work to do if she wants to be a singer. I think Northwest is for her age, her paintings are crazy. The makeup that she does on her mom on like prosthetics and stuff, wild. She definitely has the creative bug from her father. I just feel like they definitely from her father.
She doesn't have any creative bug from Kim.
What has Kim Kardashian created
Northwest.
Okay. That's no. Yes, she has a clothing line. She has all that stuff, but she has a team to help with that. Creatively, Kanye has proven himself.
She created
time and time again.
A tape.
Stop. And really, that was Ray J. So, anyways,
oh yeah.
So I just feel like they really should have prepared her better. Another thing too is North is used to, like, she'll go on stage with her dad and just do whatever, and that's not really a choreographed show.
But see, that's her
it's
dad's.
Your bestie, Miss Westy.
Is that
whatever
that?
she said?
Was that a rap?
Yeah, that's a rap that she went on stage and did with her dad.
With her, yeah. But again, that's with her dad.
Right.
This wasn't anybody's parents, and you had other professionals that were there, like the zebra.
They seemed a little bit
like the zebra that was like kind of like guiding her along. It seemed like, and then Zazu.
That's what I'm saying.
Zazu was heated.
Yeah, he was me.
Because it was all like, you know, in the movie, Simba was gone at the end of the song, and it looked like that's
she
probably
was
supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And Zazu looked, and it was like, this.
Waiting for her applause. I can't.
And it's like, and it was like, you know, maybe he could play it off because Zazu was frustrated anyway. But he was like, why is she here? Okay, now, all right, this is live. Let's go ahead and you know, what's it called? It's not what you rehearse, but you do it anyway. Well, you gotta, you know, act like that's how it's supposed to be.
Improv.
Yeah, thank you. Let's go ahead and improv.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, and the zebra had, I don't know. Like I said, nothing against the little girl. It ain't her fault. But her parents absolutely had the means to be able to better prepare her, unless they got the call at 10 o'clock the night before, which I doubt, since that costume was custom.
Yeah, but right. But even if they got the call, why would that be happening? This is a production.
Right.
This is a production.
Jason Weaver could have sang it. She could have lip sang something. I don't know.
Can Jason Weaver's voice still get that high? Probably.
Don't come for him.
I'm not coming for him. He's not.
He was playing Michael Jackson. He was like 16 when he was playing Michael. I never can say goodbye again.
Was he?
He was playing young Michael in
Was he 16?
The movie? No.
Oh, because I'm like, I thought he was. Because after that is when I started watching him on Disney Channel. And I was all like, no, I don't think he was 16 yet. I don't know why.
All right, let me stop because we ain't paying for songs to be sung. Do you have any other thoughts? Can we move along?
I just want to say, if you're listening, North Z, the first Z, thinks you did a very good job, and I think you can carry a note, regardless of what the second Z says about you.
Wow, I think you were very brave, but I think you need some more voice lessons if you're going to be singing. But I think you're very brave. Okay, moving on. I'm not gonna listen.
I think you were brave.
I don't
to get on there with no talent. That's what you just said.
I don't lie.
That's what you just said. That's what you just said.
I don't lie to my daughter either when she be doing auditions and stuff. Okay, because I need to be honest with my kids. I ain't gonna have them thinking they doing something if they're not.
I have a 10-year-old daughter, and I'll be like, oh, is that? Do you think you're doing your best? That's how I would say. I would be like, oh, hell no. I'd be like, hey, so that was great. Do you feel like you can do better? Do you feel like you can do better? And that's how you get it. If you're watching this.
Anyways, we'll see if more is revealed on this season of the Kardashians, because I will keep watching because I like trash television. Moving on. Ty Lil, I think I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, I don't know how to say his name.
He's a Twitcher, a streamer on Twitch. I don't Twitch. I don't know what that's called.
The game, right? The gaming?
Yes. But the guy, the Kai Cenat, that guy is famous on there. You don't know him either? Okay. So he was live streaming, twitching, whatever the kids do. And Michael Rainey Jr., who was on Power, was on the live stream. And Ty Lil's little sister sexually assaulted this young man on the live stream, and it's crazy. It's actually pretty crazy.
Everybody here has worked a job, has more than $1 million. Y'all have never worked, y'all have never did nothing.
Whoa.
Y'all literally have 5
and there's
minutes
2 little kids right there.
Then y'all gotta get out, okay?
5 minutes? You know how much 5 minutes is?
Okay.
He looks so uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's like, what do I do?
Never work. You gotta think.
What do I do?
Right.
Never worked a job, but they can party with us.
Is this happening to me right now?
Yo, anybody need water?
And he's like he's seen it too. He peeped it.
Paper towels with them.
He peeped it like, he's like, bruh, did that just happen, bruh?
Oh, that's the weird apology from the dude. Majority of the internet has been, I'm not gonna be like outraged, but they agree that was crazy. That was assault. What is wrong with you?
Why aren't they outraged? I think they'll be outraged if it was vice versa. It'd be like outrage.
For sure. If a man just walked up on a girl and for sure. Absolutely. And he put out a statement and was like, that was crazy. I didn't know how to react. And basically thanking everyone for the support or whatever. He was on the show Power, which is 50 Cent show. I never watched it. Have you watched Power?
I'm watching.
I hear I need to.
I'm watching Power Book Ghost currently, and I'm catching up on Tommy's Force. That's
Okay.
Force. That's
So
Tommy.
maybe I'll start it.
I'm also book. It's a whole universe.
Apparently it is.
That's crazy. You don't know Power was dope.
I know of Power. I just haven't seen it.
That's crazy. Amari Hardrick represented. Represented.
So I'm thinking about starting to watch that. But apparently 50 Cent was just like, when that happens to a man, it's just an aggressive.
Yeah, he said SA from a man's perspective. Was it LOL? And then he was like, that was just aggressive advance.
Right.
An aggressive advance.
No charges will be pressed. He'll be fine. LOL.
An aggressive advance is like the definition of SA, though. Isn't that? That's what it is.
Right.
That's what it is. So, and I think that from 50 Cent, first off, I'm like, is this just 50 Cent being 50 Cent? Is this 50 Cent trying to capitalize and still be 50 Cent? Because I think 50 Cent is known for like trolling people. Like he always talking about somebody. So he's probably looking at it from a standpoint of, well, it's no different just because it's, an actor that's on my show. It's like, no, I'm gonna be 50 Cent about it. So, there's that. And then there's also I completely disagree because when I was in the Navy, I was an advocate, right? For SA. If it ever happened, I would respond to it. So I would stand in the watches and we would get trained. And there's so many men that don't report. It's like there's cases and it's like these are only cases that we know about that have been reported.
Right.
And there was a situation about a police officer that was on a force and he got his gun stole and then he got, it was some SA happened and he was getting teased in his, what did they call it? The precinct. They were like teasing him. They were saying, oh, he liked it. And I was like, because it was another man. And it's just all like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And this is the double standard that is had in America. It's all like, oh, well, I'm a man. So you feel like because you're a man, things can happen. And then plus also in 2024, where it's all gender fluid, like I would think that it would be more outrage simply for that fact. Like, you know what I'm talking about? So it's like, man, that's crazy.
In his statement, he said he was still processing. And he said, the fact is sexual assault is never okay, regardless of gender or status. We're all human and we should respect each other. Most importantly, we should respect ourselves. Yeah, my mouth dropped when I saw that. I was like, that's crazy. Because she literally just walked in the stream and just like, that was wild for me to see. Like, what would possess her to think that was okay?
Yeah, and in his apology, or when he was all like, "Oh, my sister never seen anybody famous on that caliber," so I guess he said she didn't know how to act or something like that. But it's like, why does that?
So that's what she defaults to? That's crazy.
What was going through? I don't even know how old she is. Not that it matters, but it's
yeah, because he said little sister.
So it's like, how old is? I don't know how old he is and how old she is.
He's young.
And it's all like, why is that on your mind? Like, what?
He's 23.
So maybe she's 21 or 19 or something like that. But it obviously shook him up because he stopped the live
he
stream
left.
early. He left the live stream
Yep.
early, and he said, "I'm still processing it." Like, yeah, it's something that I understand you got to process it because it's all like, yo, I was legit just violated.
Yeah.
The same way any person would feel. That's
Right.
why it's an assault. It's an assault on your mental. It's an assault on your senses, not just an assault on your body.
Right. Yeah. That was just, like I said, I don't know what she was thinking, what her mindset was. My sister never seen anybody that famous. It's not an excuse. Like, I'm going to see Will Smith and I'm going to freak out and I'm going to go grab his junk. How does that make sense? Like, that doesn't make sense. So, I don't know. He did say he doesn't agree with what his sister did, but it also sounds like he's maybe trying to make excuses. I don't know. Because the fact of the matter is, let's say if he did want to press charges, there's tons of proof. Like,
it was a live stream.
She needs to learn her lesson from this.
I bet people are probably going to come because it was a live stream. So now people are going to be all like, oh, they found out who she is. Now she's probably made herself susceptible to essay herself because people are going to be like, oh, this is how you like it?
Yeah.
Because it's,
unfortunately,
like I say, internet undefeated.
Yep.
And the problem is that people look at the internet and stop living on the internet and try to live out in real life. And it's like, yo, these are people.
Yep.
Maybe that was what the issue was with her. Like, this is a person. This is a human being.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
This isn't the character you saw on the show. This is a real person. Yeah. So I don't know. And just what you were saying about men not wanting to come forward with a lot of things. It's just, I was listening to, whatever, a true crime story. And a man pretended to be a woman online to lure this man. The man shows up to the location. They're like, oh, the garage will be open. The man goes in the garage. This other man
Just to catch a predator?
No. The other man attacks him and is like, with the stun gun or with the, oh my gosh, a taser. And then like has this gun. A fight ensues. He gets the gun, finds out it's fake. Long story short, the guy ends up getting away. Never reported it because he was embarrassed that he was like going to meet this girl, got ambushed. Like, he convinced himself it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. A week later, that guy did it to someone else and ended up killing that guy. And then of course the guy ends up coming out and being like, but if he would have just told about his experience.
So this was, so a guy posed as a regular of age woman.
On a dating site. Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, that's why I was thinking it was catch predator, because that seems like that's stuff they would do. But this is just a guy.
Well, that's what they do to catch.
Yeah, to catch actual predators. But this guy was just a regular dude that was like
pretending. Yes,
got catfish.
Because he wanted to unalive someone, and so he was trying to lure them there. But the first guy got away and was too embarrassed and scared to tell, so never reported it.
He could have possibly prevented.
And I'm sure he feels horrible. But it's just like...
Well, just to be clear, he didn't kill anybody.
For sure.
He didn't delete anybody. What do you gotta say? He didn't
Unalive.
Yeah, he didn't do that to anybody.
YouTube. We post this on YouTube as well, if you're listening. So
yeah, he didn't do that to anybody. But I can understand why. Because you process things how you process things. That's crazy.
He right there too.
You do process things how you process things, but it is probably in his back of his mind. If I would have said something, then whoever isn't alive anymore could have still been alive right now.
Right.
If things would have even went through. Like, you don't know if things would have went through or if we need proof on all this other things.
For sure.
But he's probably thinking, I could have...
So he ended up coming out after the, other incident and testifying, and the guy ended up going to prison forever. The guy that got assaulted the first time, though, they never tried his case because they were like, well, he's already going to prison forever for unaliving this guy, so whatever. But it just made me think of that because, men don't want to speak up about stuff which I don't know, makes me kind of sad. June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So, fellas, speak out.
Yeah, I'll speak with my therapist because,
I was just going to say to your therapist.
And he was saying, people always talk about the mind of a woman, but I think it's maybe even more fascinating the mind of a man and everything that a man deals with. And I'm like, yeah, people actually don't talk about that. And that's probably what plays into a lot of these situations, like how you're viewed as a man, like what 50 Cent was saying, how this guy didn't want to report things, and how in essay cases, the man doesn't want to report things because you feel like you have to be certain things. And even myself, I definitely, therapy is awesome because I subconsciously do the same thing to myself. As much as I feel like I'm free and I don't do that, I do in some form, one way or another, do that when I'm thinking about taking care of my family and taking care of or considering a lot of other people before considering myself. And it's like, man, it's eye-opening. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So
shout out to all the mental health workers out there.
Yes. Shout out to all the therapists. Get a therapist. I think therapy is great. But yeah, 50 Cent, I think that was nonsense, his response. It kind of reminds me of Lil Boosie and how he paid a sex worker. Can you say that on YouTube? I don't know. To engage in oral activity with his underage son at like 12 or something.
Was this at that party that everybody was talking about? Was that Lil Boosie? I think that's somebody else I'm thinking about. No, I'm thinking about somebody else.
Lil Boosie set it up.
That's SA. That's statutory.
Hello.
Why would he do that?
Because he's weird.
Was his son asking for that?
Even if he was asking for it.
Like that's how you scar somebody. I mean, that's why I say, was he asking for it? Because there's a lot of times little boys will be with like babysitters and the babysitters take advantage of them. And that puts them on this trajectory to treating women a certain way and then doing things. And then they got to like process it. And then they finally talk to somebody and it's all like, oh my gosh.
Woman perform
like he did it? Yeah, it happened.
Boys, right. I'm training them boys, right? Ask in there, my nephew. Ask in them. Ask my son. Yeah. They were 12, 13. They got head. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah.
12, 13, they got head. That's how it's supposed to be.
I feel like that's ridiculous.
From a grown woman.
At the same time, I'm reminded of the Bible when it says, and God gave them over to their own lustful desires. And when you look at the state of society and things like that, it's like, so people have a problem with that, but then won't have a problem with other things, even like when it's involving children. And it's like all of it, I would say, from my standpoint, is inappropriate. Like all of it is damaging. But if you're living like where it's all like, oh, like he said, that's how it's supposed to be. So what happened with him in his childhood,
right, where
he was thinking that, and then these kids that be in school that are that age, it's all like, yeah, are they thinking the same thing? Which is why, I mean, I'm not waiting to have no talk. I was like, nah, we're going to talk about this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So you're familiar. When it does approach itself to you, you know exactly how to handle it, how to deal with it. And you're not afraid to talk to me about it.
Yeah. Someone with 2 teenagers, yes.
Was that a flex because you have 2 teenagers and I don't have any
flex?
yet? That's not a flex at all.
Is it a flex? And my youngest is 9. And I'm really just about to be out here still young and fine with grown kids doing what I want. Is it a flex? Are you jealous?
What? Why would I and how would I be?
Are you jealous that you started later?
No.
No, I'm actually
Because I still look better
in
than
a
you.
constant state of, what'd you say?
I still look better than you. You heard what I said. Go ahead.
You don't. You could never. I'm constantly in a state between man, this is cool to have kids this old, and this is devastating to have kids this old because I remember when they were little. So, anyways.
Well, yeah, that's going to do it for this episode.
It was a good chat. Just to wrap it up, I just want to say that, remember, June is, Men's Mental Health Month, and reach out to somebody. It doesn't have to be somebody you know, but, you're important, and we love you.
Aww.
And should we say...
Follow us everywhere. Follow us everywhere we follow. Do the things. Go to the places.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, X, Facebook. We on all of it.
You say TikTok?
I said TikTok.
Yep.
So, follow, subscribe on the YouTube.
You know what I'm saying?
Hit that notification bell.
Yeah, so you know when we post a new episode, a new video, a new anything. All right, I think that's it.
And should we say...
Deuces!